hey, y'all. Welcome to episode 106 of Consignment Chats. It is our first of the new year. Samantha speaks. How are you,
Woohoo!
ladies? How's it going?
Good, good.
Yeah. All right. I'm glad.
It's the new year.
So tell me about your new year. Are you feeling, Samantha, like ready to take on the world?
This is a weird one. Normally I have my goals set and I am like, boom, 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 let's do this. I'm not like a New Year's resolution type person. I'm not like a new year, new me. I'm okay, this is the end of the fourth quarter and we're on to the first and this year I still need to set all my goals
Oh,
and
wow. Okay.
my backup ducks are not cooperating. Let's just say that. That's
But you
not.
know how those backup ducks can be. No, they can be pills because backup ducks tend to see more squirrels than leader ducks.
Right, right. I love it.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
So I'm kind of curious as I was getting ready to record this episode. I thought something I really want to ask you was that 2022 is like your first real full year of full-time reselling. As you look back on that, like what are your feelings?
I just have to say right off the bat. So this week has been in my personal life a ridiculous emotional roller coaster of a week. And I keep going back to a couple episodes ago, the 4 minute mark. You guys just sing my praises and talk about how great I am and how many big things you think I'm going to do. And this week I have went back to that and listened
You
to it
are
multiple
doing, not
times.
how many you're going to do, all of the big things you are doing.
First of all, for your emotional week, I'm giving you a virtual hug as we speak.
Thank you.
Everybody needs virtual hugs if they can't get them in person when you're having an emotional week. So that comes, but I am glad you have that to reference, and it's helping because it's true. There's one thing that you should know about Libby and I: we don't play. It is what it is.
Right.
We don't blow smoke up anybody's ear. We just tell you the truth. So we it's what we
God,
my
does
friend.
every episode have to be a Be Real episode lately? Holy moly.
Should we
All
check
right.
hormones? No.
Yeah. So, oh man, so 2022 was just it was crazy. I um I only had like maybe 25 listings on eBay when I quit my job in November of 2021.
Oh,
And so I was just trying to ramp up and like figure it out. I hardly knew how to even do it. I sold primarily on Facebook and local sales and hustled that way. So it was a big change setting up my website and doing all that right before 2022 started. I went into 2022 thinking I have this system set. I know I figured out eBay. I figured out my website. I've got this on point. Yet no, 2022 was basically me just setting up all of my systems and then of course pivoting and changing systems when needed. And now I'm going into 2023 saying I've got this, I figured it out, I'm on point, and we'll see how that goes. But it was a lot of crazy growing, a lot for my business. So
Well, I'm so happy for you. Happy for you. I was going to say proud of you. When I say that, I really do feel pride for people when I see them succeed in this business. But don't you feel kind of like motherly when you say, I'm so proud of you?
yes.
sometimes it does feel odd to say that. Like what I really want to say is you need to be super proud of yourself.
Yes.
Yes.
To God,
I
you
like
are.
that.
You must be
Yeah.
so proud of all that you have done and accomplished in that year's time because
Thank you.
we see it. We see it.
And let's talk about the other part that we don't always talk about. Like we're talking about goals and what happened during that year. Yes, Molly.
Real quick, I want to throw in, I
Yeah.
really think all three of us should have had our word of intention for 2022 should have been pivot.
Just right.
It should have been.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Anyway, go ahead, Libby.
I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, I know what I was going to say. The other part of that is in your journey, like growing your business, pivoting, changing, figuring out all your systems, your process. you documented a lot of that with us and so you inspired so many people along that journey. Not that the journey has ended. I mean, this is really just the
Right.
beginning, but and by talking about it and talking about and being real about it, you inspired so many people to just make changes in their life for the better and so I really want to talk about, I mean, I think that needs to be noted.
Yes.
So, I mean, that was a huge, huge win for you, for the community. Yeah. So thank
Here's
you
what
for
I
doing
feel.
that.
You know how I say things weird. But when I look at Samantha now, I keep in my mind thinking that she's one of the new friends I met, that surely has been in the reselling community this successful for years. I just met her. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, because you are where you are and you are such a powerhouse in this industry with our community, I feel like for sure you've been full time at this for as long as we have. And then I realized, no, really, she hasn't. She's just a powerhouse.
Yeah. Yeah. So she
You
did
kids
in
are
1
sweet.
year what it took us about 10 to do. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
No, because I was on the sides doing it, and it was a struggle and a juggle. And with healthcare, sometimes I only worked, 312. So I could put in 40 hours a week doing this, but
Mhm.
then that only lasted like 6 months, and then I'd be back to working ridiculous shifts and stuff. So it truly was just an up and down over my 9 years before going full time.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then I started fresh with eBay because I didn't know what I was doing at all.
Yeah,
I do remember the first time I contacted you. I think you were very hesitant to come on camera, and I don't even recognize that person now. And I think back about it, I think, was that really Samantha that was that like hesitant and just like
I
unsure and
know.
didn't want to do it? Was that really you?
It probably took like 6 or more months for me to even do a spotlight. I was like, I don't know. I don't like the camera. I don't like talking about myself. Look at me now.
Look at you now, girl. Look at you now. I love it. It makes me happy.
Goals for 2023, you're going to set them?
Yeah, I still need to crunch some number. I like having number goals and things like that. So obviously I'm gonna list more, and I'm gonna do certain things. I want to add Etsy by the end of the year, but that's obviously gonna be like a summertime goal. I'm not even thinking about that in the first couple quarters. But yeah, mostly just list more, get those numbers up all around, that kind of stuff.
My
Yeah.
question earlier, you talked about how you had 25 eBay listings kind of in the beginning of your going full time. Where's that number roundabout now?
I only have 420 right now.
Libby,
Molly.
she just put the word only.
I can't
Only.
even believe it. Oh my God. I can't even believe that came out of your mouth, Samantha.
You better
I
restate
know.
that and remove that word, young lady. Go ahead, say it. Say that statement again.
All right.
Word.
I have 400 more than I had a year ago.
There you go, because that is something to celebrate.
Yes.
There we go.
You turn that into percentages, which I don't do math, my husband does, and that's a big increase.
Yes.
Yes.
I like looking at it that way because I was over 500 and then Q4 and I expanded platforms. So before I'd look at my eBay numbers and I would be like, that's how many I have, that's how many I've sold. And now that's only like half of what I've sold if you add the other 3 platforms I'm on. Or so yeah, it's
Awesome.
all about perspective.
Yeah. And not using that word. That's a 4-letter word if I've ever heard of a 4-letter word. That's a
There you
no.
have it.
No. Libby, what are your 2023 goals?
All right. Well, I was going to do a separate episode on this, but I'm going to run this. I'm going to run this by you guys because I got the listing calculator out before the new year, and I made a new tab that was my goals, and then I made a tab that was my stretch goals. I put in, and I'm going to give you guys specifics actually. I put in how much I want it to make for the year, and then it breaks it down daily into how many listings. I put in that I want to have 4 weeks of vacation scheduled,
4 weeks of vacation?
and I want to
Nice.
work 5 days a week.
Nice.
Yeah. So I calculated those all out, and the end is that I need to list $900 in inventory every day, 5 days a week, 48 weeks a year. Yes.
Okay.
So that is where I'm headed. And because I know that's what I need to do 5 days a week, I have told myself that I will not put my head on the pillow until I hit that goal. Now that's my stretch goal, but I'm gonna operate from my stretch goal. That's where I am. Yeah, so I know exactly what I need to do over the course of the week, over a course of a day, and I'm gonna hit those goals, and my head's not gonna hit the pillow until I do. Okay, now
Good.
it sounds a little crazy because we all know that I do lower dollar value items. But I'm thinking once I get in the groove, I'm already starting to do this because I really like to sleep, and I really like to put my head on the pillow and have a little break at night, or watch TV or do something like that. I find myself listing higher dollar value items so I can hit that quicker. And I think that through the course of, I think the first 3 weeks are going to be super painful. But I think after that, I'm going to get in a groove of interspersing the higher priced items so I can hit that $900 in a reasonable amount of time during the day. Thoughts? I think I might be
Awesome.
being too aggressive, but I'm going to do it.
Listen, if there's one thing I know about you, when you put your mind to something, you're just like Nick, you guys just do it. You do it. So yeah, I mean, does that number makes me shake in my boots, but I'm not you. So
Yeah, and everybody has their own thing. That's why I like, setting goals in the listing calculator, because, if it's your goal to make an extra $5,000 this year, you can still break it down and see what you have to do on a daily basis.
So Libby was kind of sharing some of this with me yesterday on the phone, and the realization hit her that she's actually leaving on vacation well, not vacation, but we're going to call it vacation because she's coming my way to bring her daughter back to school. And she was like, I'm going to miss possibly a day of listing, and I've got to make up for that in my other days. So I thought that's, you're already figuring that out. Like, I'm going to add X amount of dollars to each day to make up for the fact that I probably won't have time to list that many items Friday before I go. And I thought that was just, that's the kind of stuff you do that I feel like you're going to do this.
Yeah, you're already in the mindset. So and then figuring that out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the big part of it was balancing that with consignment chats and the time I spend on that, and just kind of reworking my time and fitting consignment chats in after my goals are hit. So that's a real challenge for me. That's a real challenge for me, but yeah.
So I'm thinking an episode might be with the listing calculator that you help me do it, because when I hear spreadsheet, I freeze. It's like lockdown on my body. It's like, oh, maybe that could be a good episode, as a real life of you showing me what we're doing here. Cause y'all, for all of y'all that don't do math and want it dumbed down, I'm your girl. We'll do this for you. We'll do it for you.
And so is that spreadsheet, because that spreadsheet, although Excel files sound and the math sounds intimidating, that spreadsheet, you enter in like 4 things, and then it helps you, and you can then you tweak it and change it and make it more realistic or higher or whatever you need. It's pretty easy.
Yeah.
I love that. I mean, so many people just love it. They love it. To create it as a brilliant resource for people.
Well, for myself, but I'm glad it works for other people as well. And I'm glad I'm, able to build vacation into that is the other thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not on vacation day this Friday, I'm going to do my work in advance, because this early in the year is just too early for me to dip into that 4 weeks.
Well, we got things to do this year. Although you may not consider Boss and FlipCon, Boss Reseller, your vacation or FlipCon, because that's kind of work related. Work
No,
related.
I consider that vacation.
Okay.
Yeah, I consider
It's like work related, but also she's not listing.
right.
So if she's not listing, it's got to count as vacation because she's not. Her store's going to be on vacation mode.
You're right.
And I'm going to party like a rock star. So
Right.
I'm on vacation because there's nothing better for me than hanging out with other resellers. So
I know.
yeah.
I know. I was looking through those pictures the other day, putting my end of the year video together, and I want to be back tomorrow. I do.
Mhm.
I want to I'm telling you, I want to jump on a plane. Yes, those words.
Whoa. You just said you want to jump on a plane?
Yep,
The one who took a train across the country?
Yep, I said it because that is how much the community that attends Boss Reseller Remix and the people who put it on, Katie, Vicky, Teresa, who am I missing? Katie, Vicky, Teresa.
They're the three. They're the main three.
Okay.
Yeah.
Felt like I was missing somebody. It's just, it's a wonderful, beautiful thing. And I can't wait for you to do it this year, Samantha.
So what else? What are your other? I'm sure you have other thoughts about where you're headed or things that have happened.
Well, my word of intention for this year is focus. And especially with the crazy first week of January that I have had, I'm especially glad that I picked that because I do have to focus. Like you said, we have these goals, and to do them before your head hits the pillow. I'm super thankful that this is such a flexible environment and a flexible career because I can stop everything and run and help my family or do whatever I need to do, and then come back and be like, okay, I said I was going to list at least 10 things today. I need to do that right now. Grab a bag, list the 10 things, and let my head hit that pillow knowing that I met my goal for the day. And there we go. Start fresh tomorrow and try again.
And you were there for your loved ones when they needed you.
Yes, I am the glue that holds our family together. And sometimes that's really, really hard.
First of all, I'm going to say that doesn't surprise me that you're the glue that holds it together, but I can't imagine how hard that is.
It's a lot to carry. That is a lot to carry.
And that's quitting your job, quitting healthcare. I don't regret a single thing. I am, even on the tough weeks, I am 1,000,000 times happier than I was. And I still have amazing friends and connections from there, but this is so much better. But it's also really hard. And that's what I hope that I'm conveying when I talk about this is, yes, it was a huge weight lifted off my shoulder. And I just made this split-second decision that, oh my God, I'm writing this letter right now and I'm quitting. But there was a lot of thought that went into it for years. I told you guys probably 9 months before that when I met you on a little YouTube comment that someday I hope I get to quit my job and be full-time. And there is a lot of work. You have so much flexibility, but if I take 4 days to go camping, I need to make sure that I'm hitting my goals before or after, or while I'm on vacation or whatever it may be. And it's especially hard when these random things that you did not plan for come up. But it is flexible and it is doable. And sometimes you just have to listen to your friends' YouTubes for a couple times to remember how great you are and that you can do it.
And I think that is such an awesome point. It is so hard. It is hard. Really difficult
not just laying around watching the housewives eating bonbons and selling the occasional t-shirt. That's not what it is.
It's really,
people
really
stop by
hard.
and they're like, oh, sorry to interrupt. And then they're here for 2 hours, which is great. But at the same time, like, I'm at work, people. Like,
yeah, it is hard to set those boundaries. For a long time after I went solely online, I still do have this happen occasionally. Oh, well, you're home all day.
Right. You're home.
Right.
Or if I'm listing, I have a couch in my office and I generally sit there to list, right? And I think anybody that comes in here often has the impression that I literally am sitting on a couch, but
right. But you're just sitting on a couch doing nothing.
Right. Yeah. And
no, I totally get it. I have this standing desk and I move and I distract everybody on all the meetings that we're on and I am always moving. And I don't sit during the day, but then I go downstairs and I have my computer and I cross list everything and I do whatever. And I have a huge picture window and I know there's people picking stuff up off my porch and they're looking at me and they're like, oh, she just sits on her couch watching
Yeah.
TV on her doing her thing. Yeah, there's a lot that goes into this. And
there
it is
is,
amazing, but it's
yeah,
a lot.
the
Yeah, and
family.
I think
and
sometimes we
friends.
take for granted that people know that this
Yeah.
business is not for the faint of heart. I mean, yes, we laugh, we have a good time, we work in our pajamas sometimes, but it's hard and it's labor intense. It's a lot.
So people keep making fun of me because I'm only 33 and this happened and I'm like, oh my God, getting old is so hard. And then everybody rolls their eyes at me like you guys are gonna do. So
Just a wee baby.
back in like November, December, in between my colds, because stuff like that comes up too.
Mhm.
And so I had a cold and then I went to bed one night and I woke up and I could barely walk. I slept wrong and I pinched something and I'm getting old and I'm falling apart. I don't know. But everybody
She
talks
says
about how,
at the
oh, it
age
must
of
be.
33, like I roll.
Usually it's 40 when the mechanics start breaking.
I went to bed and I woke up and I couldn't move. So everybody talks about how, like, not everybody, but people talk about how easy this job is and how I must sit on the couch and I can work from my bed. And no, you can't. I had to get up and I have to move bags and I have to dress a mannequin or put things on a hanger. And even just doing that was really hard. And I did sit in my bed for one full day with my computer, and there's not as much on my computer that I feel like I do when that's all you're doing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's definitely true.
There's a lot to it.
I've had a long stint with a chiropractor back in the day when we were in the storefront, from furniture moving,
Yeah.
resetting the store floor. And then the next thing you know, I'm like, doctor.
I never had muscles like I did when I was doing a lot of furniture. Oh
But
my
you know what the
God.
good thing is? The chiropractor lost a lot of weight. And lo and behold, I went to him and he started consigning all his things with us. So
Oh, yeah, that's right. He was great. Yeah, I forgot about that. Oh God.
he would come in and shake his finger at me. You're not moving armoires today, are you? No.
Mm. And do you remember oh gosh, what do we call them? Chris and the moving guys, the firefighters. We had
Oh my gosh.
Philadelphia firefighters. We had 2 firefighters and they were our part-time movers and haulers and everything.
Ooh.
What do we call them? Chris and Big.
Oh,
Oh.
yes. Biggie, wasn't it just Biggie?
Chris and Biggie. All right.
Chris
So
and
yeah,
Biggie.
so they would, and so Chris was so funny. He would be like, "All right, ladies," and he'd be showing us like how to lift. You can do it. He'd be like training us. He was hilarious, but he would not take no for an answer when he needed help. But
You're standing over there going, no, that's okay. You keep doing it.
And we were watching closely at the
Right. To try to learn, really. That's what it was.
What I did tell him that if he took his shirt off while he did it, it would actually be easier.
oh stop! Oh stop!
Hey, my eyes are watering like crazy. So if you're watching on YouTube, I keep rubbing my eyes. I am not crying. Maybe I am. Look, now I got Libby rubbing her eyes.
You
Mine's
had
a
me
mix of
laughing
all
so
of
hard
it.
about the dolphin noises last time. I was literally crying. I was crying.
I know Samantha's crazy like I am. So we're going to start pulling some footage there.
Oh Lord.
Together in person, it'll really be slapstick.
There's been a lot going on in the community. I'm loving all these new people with experience and some newbies that are just getting into it. It just runs the gamut. Again, you do not have to be a consignment seller. You just need to be a reseller or thinking about reselling. Come join us. It's a lot of fun. We will give you prompts to make sure you're consignment ready, because you don't want to leave money on the table and you want to be able to say no.
That's a no-no. No, no, no.
And you don't have to sell online. We have lots of brick and mortar people,
Oh, yeah.
and I'm loving hearing all about people's stores and the different processes they have from ours.
It is fun, isn't it?
It is.
Mhm.
It's wonderful. It's such a great community. And we're talking about it. And you guys, if you don't know exactly what we're talking about, it is our private Facebook community. It's free. I said free. That's a good 4-letter word. Free is a good 4-letter word. And it is so supportive and so much fun. So
Yep.
yeah, you got to join us if you haven't yet. You won't regret it. You won't. Everybody's positive and supportive and wonderful and oh, love it.
And we have Patreon next week, I believe. So if anybody wants to do a little one-on-one time with us, well, not, group time, one-on-one time,
Yeah.
whatever time, extra time, you guys have that Patreon. I'm sure it'll be linked below. And we meet once
Always
a month.
linked below. Yeah.
Mhm.
Because I love to talk numbers and specifics because I don't usually do that in the general forum, but I do that on Patreon.
Yes,
as
because
others
it's not
do.
recorded.
Because it's not recorded, it goes nowhere. It's just a private thing. And Molly and I have been enjoying doing some private coaching one-on-one. So that's an option in the Patreon as well. If you have a question, if you want to do it for a month, if you want to do it once a month, you can do that. But we've really been enjoying that. It's been
A lot of fun.
so wonderful to be able to do that one-on-one. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Good stuff. All right, ladies. I have to say it. Until next time.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for joining Libby and Molly, the ladies of Consignment Chats, as we build a resourceful community of collaborative resellers. Find all the ways to connect with us at consignmentchats.com. Episodes are available on YouTube and anywhere you get your podcasts. In addition, you can find us on Facebook in our Consignment Chats community. Until next time.